Bangalore, India's Silicon Valley, is a city of contrasts. It is a hub of innovation and technology, attracting global talent and investment. Yet beneath this veneer of progress lies a stark reality, a looming water crisis. The city is facing an unprecedented shortage of this precious resource, threatening its very existence. Bangalore's rapid growth has come at a cost. The influx of people seeking opportunities has put immense pressure on the city's infrastructure, particularly its water supply. Lakes that were once sources of life are now polluted or drying up. Groundwater levels are plummeting as extraction outpaces replenishment. The situation is dire, but not insurmountable. Addressing this crisis requires a multifaceted approach, involving government action, responsible urban planning, and a collective commitment to conservation. The time to act is now, before Bangalore's thirst becomes unquenchable. The future of this vibrant city hangs in the balance. Will it succumb to the pressures of its own success, or will it find a sustainable path forward? The answer lies in our collective will to act. The water crisis in Bangalore is a complex issue with deep-seated roots. One of the primary drivers is the city's burgeoning population. As people migrate from rural areas in search of better prospects, the demand for water has skyrocketed. This influx has strained the existing infrastructure, leading to shortages and inequitable distribution. Unplanned urbanization has further exacerbated the problem. The rapid expansion of the city has come at the expense of its natural water bodies. Lakes and wetlands, once integral to Bangalore's ecosystem, have been encroached upon for construction, reducing their capacity to recharge groundwater and regulate the water table. Adding to these challenges is the issue of water mismanagement. Leakages in the distribution system, illegal water extraction, and inefficient irrigation practices all contribute to water wastage. The lack of proper wastewater treatment further compounds the problem, polluting existing water sources and rendering them unusable. These factors, intertwined and mutually reinforcing, have created a perfect storm for a water crisis. Addressing this complex challenge requires a holistic approach that tackles both the supply and demand sides of the equation. The water crisis in Bangalore is not just an abstract threat, it is a daily reality for its residents. Many face acute water shortages, particularly during the dry season. Long queues for water tankers have become a common sight, with people spending hours each day just to collect enough water for their basic needs. The scarcity of water has a ripple effect on various aspects of life. Businesses, especially those reliant on water-intensive processes, are struggling to cope. Manufacturing units face production cuts while restaurants and hotels grapple with hygiene issues. The IT sector, Bangalore's crown jewel, is also feeling the heat, with concerns about water security impacting investment decisions. The crisis has also exacerbated social inequalities. Poorer communities, often living in informal settlements with limited access to piped water, are disproportionately affected. They are forced to rely on expensive and often unreliable private water suppliers, pushing them further into poverty. The water crisis is not just an environmental issue, it is a social and economic crisis that threatens to unravel the very fabric of Bangalore's society. Faced with mounting public pressure and the sheer urgency of the situation, the government has been forced to take notice of Bangalore's water woes. Various policies and initiatives have been announced, aimed at both augmenting supply and managing demand. One of the key strategies has been to increase water sourcing from neighboring rivers and reservoirs. Large-scale pipeline projects are underway to transport water from distant sources to quench Bangalore's thirst. However, these projects are often mired in controversy, facing opposition from communities whose own water security is threatened by such diversions. On the demand management front, the government has introduced measures to promote rainwater harvesting, making it mandatory for new buildings to incorporate rainwater collection systems. Public awareness campaigns are being rolled out to encourage responsible water usage, urging citizens to conserve water in their homes and workplaces. While these initiatives represent a step in the right direction, their effectiveness remains to be seen. Implementation challenges, bureaucratic hurdles, and a lack of political will continue to plague these efforts. Section 5. Nature's Silent Tears, the Environmental Toll. The water crisis in Bangalore is not just a man-made disaster, it is a stark reminder of our interconnectedness with the natural world. The city's unquenchable thirst is having a devastating impact on the environment, with lakes drying up, groundwater levels plummeting, and ecosystems collapsing. Once known as the City of Lakes, Bangalore's water bodies are bearing the brunt of the crisis. Many lakes have shrunk to a fraction of their original size, choked by sewage, industrial effluents, and construction debris. The once pristine waters are now polluted and unfit for human use, threatening aquatic life and biodiversity. The depletion of groundwater is another alarming consequence. As surface water sources dwindle, the city has become increasingly reliant on groundwater extraction. This unsustainable practice is causing the water table to plummet, leading to land subsidence, drying of wells, and a host of other environmental problems. The environmental degradation caused by the water crisis is a stark reminder of the true cost of our unsustainable water practices. It is a debt that we owe to future generations, and one that we can ill afford to ignore. Section 6. Lessons from abroad, success stories, and cautionary tales. As Bangalore grapples with its water crisis, it is instructive to look at how other cities around the world have tackled similar challenges. From the water-wise city of Singapore to the reclaimed waterways of Amsterdam, there are valuable lessons to be learned, both in terms of successes and failures. Singapore, a densely populated island nation with limited natural water resources, offers a compelling example of how integrated water management can transform a city's water security. Through a combination of desalination plants, water recycling technologies, and stringent conservation measures, Singapore has achieved near-total water independence. On the other hand, the case of Cape Town, South Africa, serves as a cautionary tale. The city narrowly averted day zero, the day the taps were projected to run dry after a severe drought. The crisis highlighted the importance of proactive planning, robust infrastructure, and public awareness in managing water resources. By studying these international examples, Bangalore can glean valuable insights into effective water management strategies, adapting them to its own unique context and challenges. Section 7. Beyond Pipe Dreams, a multifaceted approach to water security. Addressing Bangalore's water crisis requires a paradigm shift, moving away from the traditional supply-centric approach to a more holistic and sustainable model. This involves a multi-pronged strategy that encompasses technological innovation, policy reforms, and community engagement. One crucial aspect is investing in water-efficient infrastructure. This includes upgrading the aging distribution network to minimize leakages, promoting water-saving appliances and fixtures, and implementing smart irrigation techniques in agriculture and landscaping. Another key area is promoting water recycling and reuse. Treating and reusing wastewater for non-potable purposes, such as irrigation and industrial processes, can significantly reduce the strain on freshwater sources. Rainwater harvesting should be made mandatory for all buildings, both new and existing, to maximize rainwater utilization. These technological solutions, however, need to be complemented by policy reforms that incentivize water conservation, penalize over-extraction, and ensure equitable water distribution. Section 8. Community Engagement, the heart of sustainable solutions. While technological solutions and policy interventions are crucial, no water management strategy can be successful without the active participation of the community. Engaging citizens, raising awareness about the crisis, and fostering a sense of shared responsibility are paramount. Community-based water management initiatives, such as rooftop rainwater harvesting campaigns, water audits in residential areas, and educational programs in schools, can empower citizens to become active agents of change. Local communities, with their traditional knowledge and understanding of the local water systems, can play a vital role in reviving traditional water conservation practices, such as building yohads, earthen check dams, and restoring stepwells. By fostering a sense of ownership and responsibility towards water resources, we can create a more sustainable and water-secure future for Bangalore. Section 9. Conclusion: Securing Bangalore's future one drop at a time. The water crisis in Bangalore is a complex challenge, but it is not insurmountable. By acknowledging the gravity of the situation, learning from the experiences of other cities, and embracing a multifaceted approach that combines technology, policy, and community engagement, we can chart a path towards a more water-secure future. The journey will require collective action, innovation, and a fundamental shift in our relationship with water. We must recognize that water is not an inexhaustible resource. It is a precious gift that we must use wisely and conserve for generations to come. The time for complacency is over. The future of Bangalore, and indeed of countless other cities facing similar challenges, depends on our collective will to act now, before the last drop runs dry.